Greetings, and welcome to part 3 of making a fighting knife out of hedge clippers. Now, last episode we worked on making the handle. Now, usually at this part, I would do a couple coats of spray paint, but my spray paint is missing. So, instead of doing that, we're going to work on the blade. So first, we're going to put a decent edge here. Then we're going to Then after that, we're going to deal with some finer details before working on the serrations on the back. So for this, all we're really going to need is 2 files. One flat one. Well, this is a half flat, but it'll work. And one round one. Okay. So first off, what we're going to do is just do this for a few hours. At least that's what it's taken so far. Okay, and this part's very important. We're gonna put a point on it, because right now you cannot stab with this thing. You can cut decently, but stabbing's borderline impossible. So what we're gonna do is take the edge, prop it up like this, take the file, and check every once in a while to make sure you're getting it right. Other side. And we're going to make sure that we get a good point. Okay, now we got a good point on. Get back to the edge. once we got the edge done, what we're going to do is we're going to take the round file, put it at the very edge here, and just file a small notch into it. Show you a better angle. Okay, notch is coming along. So far we got a decent semicircle, but we want it to be more prominent, before we get it, say it's finished. Just gonna realign myself to get better leverage. And okay, got the notches looking decent. Let me just grab the other knife to compare. Okay, looking at the first knife. Interesting. Okay, next we're going to take this knife and file a little bit down here. Then file a bit more notch. Now remember, don't file it into either direction. What you want to do is file down. Now of course you want to keep it consistent throughout, but this is primarily to go down the blade, down the metal, instead of sideways into it. That could, not only will that shorten the blade, but it could potentially mess up the entire edge. Now just going to do a little bit of work to even it out. Okay, and that's the end for the notch. Now you see, the point of this notch here is to make sure that the knife, is to make it easier to when you're sharpening, to avoid hitting the grip or over sharpening it, or just messing it up in any way that can mess up either the blade or your sharpening stone, or really whatever it is you're sharpening it. Could be angle grinder, whetstone, belt sander, rocks. Really, it could be anything. Now, let's do a bit more work on the edge, and then we'll get to the serrations. If your blade is slightly curved like this one is, see, I recommend using the round file for this part. It makes it a lot easier than the bigger ones to actually get sharpened around it. Well, I mean, file. decent shape on the edge here, but so going off a little bit towards the notch. Just gonna try working it out a bit more with the normal file. Okay, and yeah, looks decent for now. Then other side. Filing against the blade will get you a better edge, but it is much harder. And I think it might actually be making more sound, which is probably not a good thing since it's getting pretty late now, probably. Okay, so far, so good. Now we're going to use the bigger file to just clean it up a bit. Okay, looks like we got a decent edge on it. And next we're just gonna take a rag. We're gonna wipe off the blade, get all the metal dust off of it. Now remember, if you're using power tools instead of files for this, I severely recommend wearing wearing a mask over your mouth and nose, because metal poisoning can get serious. Now, I'm going to do the same to the other side. Okay, switching my left hand to get this side, but it is a lot harder to do it with my left hand. Okay, it's about as best I can do right now. This would be a lot easier if I had a vise, but okay, now once again, just gonna clean up with this file. Clean it up. Okay, now this video is actually dragging on pretty long. I'm gonna have to do the serrations in the next part of this. So, as usual, before I we stop this. There's one step that is very important. Always keep a vacuum to clean up any metal dust for after you're done with it. Great. Now, that's really about it for this episode. In the next episode, we're going to be doing the serrations on the back of the knife. Thank you all for watching. This is Random Man, signing off.